Do you have friends? You should. Studies have found that people with stronger social connections are more likely to live longer, healthier lives. Being socially isolated has been linked to an increased risk of developing anything from dementia to diabetes. And here to discuss this today are Michael Chiang and his friends Jonathan Leong and Janine Goh. Michael is a playwright whose plays include Army Days, Private Parts and Beauty World. Jonathan is most famous for being the first runner-up in the second season of Singapore Idol in 2006. He's now working in an investment asset management firm. His wife Janine is the owner of 21 Stories, a digital marketing agency. Now, what's unusual about their friendship is that it's an intergenerational one. Michael turned 70 this year, and Jonathan and Janine are 42. Hello, I'm Sumiko At, and this is Sumiko at 60, a series by the Straits Times on aging well in Singapore. In this episode, we're going to talk about friendship. So, hello, Michael, Jonathan, and Janine.
Hello,
Hey.
Sumiko.
Hi.
Nice to be here.
You're fast friends,
Yes.
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And even though there's this age difference.
Which we didn't realize until you told us.
Yes.
I
We've
did
been
not realize
reminded of
that
it quite-
Mike is 70.
In another
Okay.
dimension, you could be my father.
He could be your father, yes.
Multiverse,
How does
yes.
that make you feel, Mike?
No, it doesn't really come into my head.
When did we
Often
realize
enough.
it, actually? When did we realize
At your
that?
wedding, yeah. I
At
tell
my
you
wedding.
At their wedding, at some point, Jonathan just said something about his father being 60 or something. So I just turned around and said, "Oh my God, that's my age," and it was a bit of a shock to me because I always seen him as my peer, and then suddenly tells
Is
me
that
his
why you
father's
were
my
shuffling
age.
and taking out your wallet and looking at your IC and doing this? Like that?
Right, how did you meet?
I'd written a script for a film called Our Sister Mambo, and the producer, Cathy's boss, Maylin, asked me to help in the casting. And because I'd written the character, so I kind of knew the type of person I thought could play the part. So to fill up, I guess, all the different parts, I just made cold calls to either actors or talents that I thought would be suitable. And Jonathan is one of the cold calls I made. I searched trying to get his phone number, and when I finally got it, I called him and I said, "Hi, Jonathan, you don't know me, but I'm so..." And then
Of course I know you. I thought it was a
all
prank. I thought it
know
was a
you.
prank at first. That was a prank.
Right, but you knew Jonathan through Singapore Idol.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
I was hoping that the film that I was going to
Yeah.
be in, which was one of my bucket list items, along with the NDP song, which I have not done, I thought that would be my next thing where someone would say,
Yeah.
most well known for being in this film, but no, the idol hook still
Okay,
stays.
so Jonathan, you got the call, and
I got the call,
Yeah.
and I was quite surprised that it took. It was difficult for Mike to find my number because I'm reasonably easy to
No, you were
not
not.
to
Sorry.
find. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when I received the call, he introduced himself, and I was very happy to hear from him because I'm a big fan of Army Days. Huge fan. I've seen the movie many times, but I had not at that point seen the theatre production yet. Yeah. So I was like, yes. Can we meet?
Yeah.
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 Sign
we
my
met.
book.
Yeah. We met, and then I brought him up to meet the boss of EP for the show, and almost instantly she said yes, signed the contract downstairs, and that was it. So
No
that's,
casting.
that's how we met.
I didn't
yeah.
even have to act.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
where they went on
Yeah.
faith, right? No auditions.
Wow.
There were no auditions, really. It was just either gut instinct and getting her to approve, and that was it. In fact, that's how
I was
we
pretty much
cast,
playing
yeah,
myself. You
yeah,
pick a lot of people
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
sort of just had to be
Okay.
themselves.
Yeah.
okay, so what were your impressions of him during Singapore Idol?
Because I was still running 8 days then, so of course he was on the cover the week that we were heading to the finals. So of course I knew who he was. I was following the series. I was kept abreast of all the contestants because we were covering it quite intensely.
You were the boss at the time, right?
I was the boss.
Boss of
I
MediaCorp
was
Publishing.
CEO of the publishing house that
Yeah.
was publishing the magazine. So I knew his whole story, and I watched the show, and I was also rooting for him because it was quite fun, yeah. So yeah,
It was fun.
Did you
You were a
vote for
fan.
him?
huh?
Did you vote for
Did you
him?
vote?
Yes,
Not enough. Okay,
Not
clearly. That's why I'm still runner up
yeah.
all these years.
Okay, so this was in what year?
Gosh,
06.
06.
06 was Idol. Our meeting was in 2014.
14, yeah, 10 years
Okay.
ago. We met 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, so how did Janine come into the picture?
Mike had a book signing event,
Yeah.
and John brought me So he introduced me to Mike at the event. I was quite starstruck, I remember. And I'm generally quite shy. So I remember when I first met Mike, I was like, oh my God, he's the Michael Chiang of
Gosh.
Army Days. So I didn't speak much to him because I think I was a little bit shy and he was very busy at the event. Yeah, it was only much later on that we met up for meals separately, just like three of us. That I think we really connected and became friends.
They even went on holiday without me.
Yes,
Oh, right,
yes,
right.
yes.
How did that happen?
I was studying a lot because I did this mid-career switch thing, right, from music into wealth management into investments, and I had to do a lot of relearning. I was not academically trained in the subject, so I was spending a lot of time studying exam after exam after exam to sort of get accreditations, right? And I spent most of my Chinese New Years in the first few years sort of studying, and I'm not fun when I'm studying. I become a piece of furniture at home. So she decided to take some trips on her own, and one of them was with Mike.
Yeah, I decided to take a trip over Chinese New Year, and I think I asked you,
Yeah,
right? I cannot remember who asked who.
I think you said, do you want to go away? I want to go away for Chinese New Year. So yeah, sure, I'll come with you. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just like that. It
And
wasn't-
you were
He
looking
was
for a
going
place to
to
write,
write.
right?
Yeah.
As well.
I had something to
Writing
write. I
trip.
forget what it was now, but yeah. So I thought, okay, we'll go together. I can do my writing while you go and do your shopping. Of course, it really happened. because
Yeah,
she kept-
in the end, I
ended
just
up
kept.
seeing, yeah. In the end, they just kept
asking him to
shopping
go
for
with
plates.
me,
I remember
yeah.
getting a lot of photos of plates.
yeah.
This was how many years into the friendship?
I don't know.
4 years, maybe.
Was
I
it?
can't
Couple of years
remember.
No, I
now,
think it
yeah.
was maybe 2.5.
Oh,
3.
2.5, 3.
2016, 2017 maybe. We got to fact check this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe 3 years.
Okay. So up to then, I mean, you weren't like very aware that Michael was so much older than you?
I never felt his age actually. I think when we hung out, I think
Yeah.
Mike is super young at heart. Yeah, I really never ever felt his age. He's super current, sometimes more current than me or us. I think he's like Peter Pan, right?
Yeah, we've
He's got a Peter Pan syndrome.
And also maybe we're a little bit of old souls as well. We're
Yeah,
a
I
little
think
bit
so
more.
too. Yeah.
That's you, not me.
Yeah, I like a lot of old media, old music,
Maybe.
old films, so old books. So yeah, we bond over that, but it's never come up,
Yeah.
and we
Right.
both can't believe we are at our respective ages, as well. Well, how old do you think you are mentally?
I like to say 35, but
Oh,
maybe
dear.
45. Let's say late 40s.
I think I'm stuck at my early 30s.
Yeah, early
At
30s
most.
maybe.
So here, and when I look in the
Yeah.
mirror,
What happened?
what's going on?
It helps that Michael has hair.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes,
Right?
yes.
Yes.
And
His
he's
hairstyle.
kept
Yes.
the same hairstyle.
Thank you
so,
very much.
So you don't notice that he's
Yes,
aging.
yes.
When I first
Yeah.
met him, though, he was a few sizes
What? 2 sizes?
smaller. Yeah,
Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Okay. So back to that Bali trip. Did you get like strange looks?
Actually, yes. I don't know. Did you
I
ever notice?
wasn't aware.
Oh, you
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
notice.
yeah.
But I did notice when we go to restaurants or some cafes,
Yeah.
some people will look at us and I can tell they are wondering like, what's our relationship? Like, am I like his younger girlfriend or something?
woman.
Yeah. And yeah, it's pretty obvious that they are like looking
In Singapore
at us.
too.
In Singapore
I
too?
noticed it. Yes,
Oh,
I
okay.
noticed it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it didn't bother me.
Right.
Yeah, we had fun. Yeah.
Yeah. And your interests were aligned.
I think so.
I think
yeah.
so,
We
yes.
just talk about things that we talk about. You were not struggling to like find things to
Yeah.
to chat about. It's just there.
Right.
And when we went shopping, then he would give me like opinions, like what's nice.
Yeah.
We'll shop for like household things together.
Yeah.
I mean, we love,
Yeah.
buying stuff for the home.
Yeah, we look
Yeah.
at art a lot. We talk about movies a lot,
Yeah.
music,
Right.
videos. For me, I think a lot of the conversation is about sort of sometimes as I find my way through this time of my life, where I'm in a corporate organization, sort of a style, and then he was quite used to that. I get some input from him on, he always tells me you think too much, you worry too
Yes. Overthinker. Yes.
much. Yeah.
So could you imagine,
that.
having those sort of conversations or holidays with someone, his age, but not Michael?
Actually, no. I think no. Yeah, I can't.
How old are your parents, Janine?
My dad is late 70s. My mom is mid 70s. So yeah, my
Okay.
parents are older than Mike.
Right.
Yeah, I have very, very different relationships with my parents and with Mike. I think with Mike, I mean, he's really like a friend where I can share anything and everything. I mean, with parents, I think it's a bit more of a traditional relationship where, yeah, I don't really share everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Jonathan, your dad's the
I
same
could see
age as
myself
Michael.
taking solo trips with my dad. My dad's pretty cool. My father's a cool guy. We get along well.
Oh, okay.
We I think over the years we've become more like friends. I'm quite open with him
Okay.
about stuff. Yeah, but it'll be different. It'll be different. It's not a friendship because my father's not into all the stuff that we're into, right? In terms of interests and all that. But if to answer the question, if it's a trip, yeah, I could probably go with him, no problem. In fact, yeah, it'd be nice to do one.
Okay. I mean, Michael is like quite hip. Is your
Yeah,
dad
he
as
is
well?
very,
Very
he's
hip.
very hip. My
Mike is
father
super
used
hip.
to be hip. When he was young, he was very hip. But his hipness has stayed while what's hip has changed.
All right. So, I mean, are your parents aware that you have this friendship with someone?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
what do they say to that?
I don't think they know how old you are.
Yeah, I think they don't know how
It's a
old Mike
well-kept
is.
secret. I don't know.
To be publicized.
Yeah, but they are aware. I do have quite a few. I do have quite a lot of intergenerational friendships, and as does she. She has a team of very young people, which
Yeah.
keeps her.
Yeah, they keep
up
me
to-
very
up to
young,
date.
up to date.
Keeps
Could you
her
share
fun.
a bit more on how that came about?
My team, they're generally quite young. They're all below 30. Yeah, most of them are in their early or mid 20s. I really enjoy spending time with them. I think they really keep me current, and we do social media marketing, right? They keep me up to date with all the trends, especially like all the TikTok trends, which I sometimes really don't understand, but try and pretend that I do and laugh along. Just really being with them, I feel quite energized, and I really like that.
Right.
Yeah.
And Jonathan, you too.
Yeah, I do have quite a lot of friends that are not just on the younger side, but also on the older side. So, yeah, I'd say I've got quite a broad spectrum of friends that are of different age groups, like some in their 40s, 30s, maybe even 20s. Yesterday I had lunch with a good buddy of mine that's like, I think probably 20, I think he's 27 maybe. Yeah, he's a good friend. It doesn't even come up, the age thing. We just like what we like and we talk about what we like.
I think when you have common topics and interests, like the age really the age doesn't come up at all.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Like
not a barrier.
music's evergreen, right?
Yeah.
You know, and then we just exchange ideas
Yeah.
about, oh, like now you're listening to this, but it sounds like that, and then why don't you check this out? And then we exchange.
Right. It's strange because when you're in school, you kind of like keep to your own age
Oh,
group.
Yes.
And you don't really think that
Yeah.
you will have friends like a decade older.
Yeah.
It's true. I
Yeah.
think at the age gaps narrow as you grow older. Yeah, I think so. Like, of course, if you were, let's say, 10 and you met someone that was 15, cognitively it's just very far away, right? But when you're at a 5-year age gap is nothing when you are in your 30s or 20s even.
Yes. And Michael, do you have other younger friends?
Yeah, actually, quite a lot. Yeah, I have
We're
to
not the
say.
only.
You're not the
I thought
only
we
one.
were
sorry.
your only ones.
No, like I told you earlier, I think the nature of the business, because I was running this whole stable of magazines, and apart from just 8 Days, which was very pop culture based, I also created this magazine called Lime, and the target was actually teenagers, you know. So
You'll put me on the cover of that too. Yeah.
so I had to make sure that we understood what that demographic wanted. Not to say I wanted to suddenly become a teenager, but I had to hire a team that understood that age group. And because I conduct almost all the editorial meetings for all the magazines, so I'd sit and listen to them, and then I'd fine tune whatever the editorial direction was. So yeah, so I guess at every point of that phase, I was actually involved with much younger people, much younger than me, and I wouldn't say it was trying to understand what they did, but just trying to get into the same zone. Yeah, more than
Yeah. Did you ever feel weird, or did you ever like feel insecure that they might be thinking, what's he trying
Never
to do?
at all. I was the boss.
That
No,
helped.
not at all. I think in a way they kind of trusted my judgment also. I think to their credit.
But that's what's very beautiful about these intergenerational sort of like, I mean, we use that term like it's a
Yeah.
thing, right? But it's just a
Yeah.
conversation between
Yeah.
like-minded people
Yeah.
or people who want to learn. So it's like wisdom, experience,
Yeah.
combined with energy and new ideas. And I find that's where the conversations get very interesting. So, for example, I was telling you about my lunch with my friend Keith yesterday. He's an artist, that's why I talk about dragon stuff. And he's thinking of publishing a book of all his work that has to do with dragons. He does a lot of that. And mostly on body art or even paintings and whatnot. And we were just talking about how his book, he was thinking about this book since, I don't know, at least half a year or a year ago. So that conversation started there. And when we met, it was sort of him saying how his ideas are evolving. And then I just come in with some of my views. Like I kind of say, like, why don't you come up with one section that's like that? Is 9 projects interesting enough for a full book? And then he said, maybe not. Maybe we need to do other things. So it's sort of like that, where you have experience, knowledge, exposure as an older person, and of course many failures behind that, right? And then you sort of like share it, and then you exchange ideas, and you open up new perspectives for them, and they open new perspectives for you.
True.
Right. I mean, but do you kind of feel like you're always looking to the older friend for advice?
Not really.
Not really.
No, not
I
really.
ask my
Yeah,
younger
not
friends
really.
for advice too.
Yeah.
Same here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's always good to have a different perspective, because you may think, and am I too jaded for this, So I would consult someone like Jonathan or Janine or somebody else in that age group to say, what do you think?
Yeah, sometimes
Yeah.
like he would
Yeah.
show us some new ideas, and
Yeah.
we would show him our
Yeah.
ideas when it comes to maybe even work stuff.
Yeah.
And then we just sort of like, oh, does this work? Does it appeal to you?
Yep.
Like,
So, Michael, I mean, you do have friends who are 70 or older.
Yes.
How different is it hanging out with those friends?
Very, very different. Like I said, I do admit that I spend more time with younger people, but I do have class reunions. In fact, I tend to organize them every now and then for my classmates. So I do meet classmates in my age group. And the difference is that, I think most of them are grandparents, and they're talking about grandkids, son just got married, or daughter just had a baby, So it's a very different conversation. Yeah. So you kind of, I guess it's quite nice to listen to them and see them in a different phase of life. But it's different. It's just different. So the topics tend to be different. Area of interest also tend to be different. I think they probably look at me as some source of amusement, thinking I write comedies, I'm just a little playwright that runs around Singapore writing things, Yeah, I think I'm a source of amusement for them sometimes.
Sheila.
like for her, like you have, how was your youngest team member and oldest team member next to you?
Youngest is, I think, 21. Oldest, 30.
Yeah, so that's also
Yeah.
quite a big jump,
Yeah.
right?
Mm.
21 to 30 to
Right.
42. It's quite different.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah, and she always comes back with a lot of new stories, and she'll share
right.
what they share and what sort of like language they use, which
Yeah.
can be
Yeah.
quite different. What kind of stickers they use on
On like
Yeah.
on like
Telegram.
chat groups,
Right.
chat,
But
chat
are
apps.
the three of you like people who make friends easily? Because Janine, we were once talking and you said you
Yeah.
do actually have a lot of friends.
I do have a lot of friends, but I don't make friends easily. So these friends I've had since like school days. So I think most of my friends, I've known them for like 10 over years, 20 years. Haven't made that many new friends recently. So yeah, to answer your question, I think no, I don't make
You don't make friends
easily,
like
yeah.
super easily.
Yeah.
All right. Jonathan, are you like more
I
extroverted?
think I do make I make acquaintances very easily. I think because it's the nature of my work, and also I have varied interests, be it sports or art or music, and they tend to be quite niche, and I tend to be quite into them, so I can sort of engage on a little bit more deeper level. So that tends to be the reason why we chat, and then we hang out, and then if I'm lucky, they turn into friendships. But not all the time.
Right. But I know,
Sometimes.
but Michael, you have a lot of friends.
I don't deny it, but I think it kind of evolved. I think I started out like Janine. I was actually quite introverted. I would say, I think most of my career, probably the first decade or so, I tended to be quite introverted, quite scared of meeting people. I wasn't comfortable in a social setting. I tried to avoid social settings. I remember being scolded once by my boss who invited me to her house for dinner, and I behaved myself, I thought quite well. And then the next day she said, you know, you can make, like she told me, she said, you can make more of an effort, you know. You cannot just sit there quietly, you know, at a dinner. I was ticked off, you know. I was really quite taken aback. I thought, wow, I thought I was just listening and being attentive, you know.
Did you have your fancy mustache at the time?
No. Yeah, so, but I think through the course of the years, either because of the nature of the job, you know, once you're running an outfit, you have to meet people, you have to go and meet advertisers, talk to them, pitch an idea, then you kind of forced out of your shell. So I think that probably changed me a bit in the way I approach people. And yeah, so I think there on I became probably less scared of a social setting. Yeah, but honestly, I don't really enjoy meeting strangers. Yeah, that's not really my thing. Yeah.
I mean, you cold called all the cast for
Exactly,
that film.
yes. So
That's your professional
because-
hat, right?
Yeah, so once you have to do something, you just have to do it. Like, if I have to go and meet a client, I'll go. If I have to cold call to, you know, to fill up all the characters for the movie, I'll do it. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I've known Michael for 30 years
Yes.
plus,
He's
and it is true. I think he used to be shyer.
Very, yeah, yeah.
Very much shyer. But do you think it's also age and the knowledge that or acknowledgement that you need to have friends?
No, and I think I go by instinct a lot. If I just feel that I've got a nice connection with this person, I follow up on it. I'll just, you know, whether
Yeah,
it's
yes.
I'll follow and say, yeah, let's meet them, have lunch, and not just say it for fun and then.
I'd agree.
Yeah.
Mike makes a lot of the effort, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I do get quite, when I get overwhelmed with stuff, which I do, I sort of go into a hole. And your intro sort of reminded me of that, right? Because when I get really busy or really stressed out, which happens periodically, I just go into a hole and I don't really come out. And I don't meet people. I clear my schedule. I just want to focus on that one thing until it's done, right? And over time, I realized that's actually not a great way of working. And Mike would remind me because he would check in on me literally. Like, so Janine went through a very frightening health scare in the last a week after the baby was born, and he was the first to call. Like, you know, like, let's meet up for coffee. You know, you shouldn't stay in the hospital all day. At least just come down and have a chat. So it's sort of like that, and I really appreciate that. And it's made a difference because it sort of, you know, switches your mind off that stressful whatever for a while.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the making an effort, that is true, right?
Yes.
Yes, I think
very
Mike
much so.
makes a lot of effort. Yeah.
Like meeting for
Even
dinner,
if we don't-
meeting for
yeah.
dinner next week, right?
Yeah,
And-
even
and-
if we don't meet him
yeah.
all the time, he would, like, you know, we have a group chat and he would send like little
Yes.
memes,
Silly things.
silly things, and it just makes you feel nice that someone is like thinking of you when
Right.
maybe they see something
Yeah.
funny. They will
I
send
must
it
say,
to
when I'm
you.
busy, I'm quite
Yeah.
bad at that.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
quite bad at that too.
Mm.
With like keeping up with
Not good at
friends.
Right.
multitasking, but he can be handling like, you know, 100 projects and
Yeah,
he still
and
do
he
it.
still.
Yeah,
he
why are you
still
so
does
good?
it.
You know,
at
like,
that?
sorry, can I just say, like, he has this little message on his one of the social apps, right? And it says like, a little busy, but I will make time for you. So sweet, right? When I read this,
Sweet,
I'm
right?
like, wow.
Yeah,
But then
so-
after a while, I thought, is it for everyone?
Yeah, he makes time for
So it's
everyone.
because it was like a slogan, right?
Yeah, but how are you able to do that, Mike? Because he also sends me messages.
Oh yeah.
Is it? Do you have a broadcast group?
No lah. No lah.
have
I
a
think it just
checklist?
comes with, I wouldn't say practice lah. I mean, when you value the relationships, you want to keep it lah. And I think I have friendships that go back a very, very long way. I think most people know about my pen pal, who I started writing to when I was probably 16, and we're still friends. You know, I call her. You know, I've
The
taken
Australian
on holiday
woman.
from New Zealand. Yeah,
New
so we're still in
Zealand.
touch. You know, I've attended the daughter's wedding. You know, the kids have come to visit me. You know, so yeah, it's important for me lah. Yeah.
And I learned from that as well because I'm really busy. I know I say that many times, but maybe I'm just not great at managing my time. But I learned something from him over the years. Even though I don't meet everyone as much as I want to, but I will make the effort to at least send them a text on their birthday. So I try not to let that slip, even if I don't see them for years. And when I look back at the message log, right, it's always I send a message on their birthday.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
good.
Mike is super thoughtful. Like on our birthdays, he would make these like cute little posts.
Dear.
Right? He would take a photo of us and then he would like dress it up
Like
and wish us
collage, right?
like a
Photo
collage.
collage.
Photo collage to wish us happy birthday.
Yeah,
and he
when
does
we-
a different one every year.
When we moved into our
Yeah.
new home, like he
Yeah.
was the first to send like a tea set
yeah.
because everything was still in like renovation, you know.
Yeah.
We had to move before everything was completed. So he'd send the gift set like to celebrate, because we kind of ignore this sort of thing, right? But he's like, you must celebrate every
it's
little
very
thing. You have to
thoughtful, yeah.
celebrate small things. When the baby was born, he was the first to send like a little baby hamper thing, which I always say, don't waste money, right? You know, I'm quite uncle like that. Don't waste money. But yeah, so it's very sweet lah.
Yeah, I think he teaches us to appreciate, right? All the
To appreciate
small
friendships,
moments
yeah,
and
and to
friendships,
appreciate
yeah.
people. Don't take people for granted.
How did the Jeju trip come about?
It started when they came back from Jeju, and just
We went with our
talked about
parents,
how
a
wonderful it
couple
was. I
years
thought it was so
ago.
sweet. Like, they actually went with their parents, and I thought, wow, that's something I never got a chance to do. And they kept saying, it's so nice, we must go together. So it was kind of floating in the air, like we must go together, and then it never materialized. And then
We
earlier
were
this
gonna
year,
take a baby
Yeah,
moon.
we were
Yeah.
gonna
So I
take
was
a
in
holiday
my
before the
second
baby was born.
trimester,
Yeah.
and then we were discussing the trip, and we just decided I think we should really do
we
it
better
with Mike
do it
and
before
Will,
the-
because we
the
keep
kid
talking
comes.
about
If it-
Yeah.
doing a trip, but yeah, we never did it.
Just
So-
like with our parents, right? We were
Yeah.
talking about it for many years, like, but we forget that time.
Yeah.
There's no rewinding the clock, right? You can only take time. You cannot make time. So we just decided, okay, we better take our parents for a trip. So we've done 2 with them combined, and then with Mike, we're like, we better go. Yes, we can plan one down the line, but let's do one without a child in tow.
Because, going on holidays can kind of like break friendships.
Yes.
Oh, yes,
And
Yes,
relationships
right.
too.
Yeah.
But,
Yes, yes.
but that's
Yeah.
how we sort of got together. We were dating for a while, and then we went on a trip, and we realized we got along really well on a
the
holiday.
trip. Yeah.
And that's a good test, actually, I
Right.
think.
So was the trip with Michael, I mean, did it strengthen your friendship?
Yeah, no, I think we got to know each other better.
Yeah.
But we all have different skills, which came together well
Yeah.
for the trip.
True.
So it was 4 of us,
Yeah.
2 of us and Mike and another friend. And so she was the one who planned the
The
pre-planning.
accommodation, yeah.
Pre-planning
The
accommodation.
flights,
She's very
the
particular.
car rental.
Particular with that.
Yeah.
And car rental. And she can read a bit of Korean. And then I was the designated driver because I'm very bad at planning before, because I just work to the limit and then I leave for the holiday. I pack and leave. And then Mike was good at making sure that we don't miss turns.
Oh, yes,
He's glued
yeah.
to the map.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's really good at that.
He's a really good backseat driver.
Yes.
Turn here. You missed the turn. Don't
Turn
forget.
coming up,
Slow
yeah.
down. Yeah. So I hear this little mumbly voice beside me for a week or so, and then the other friend is very proficient in Korean, so he could
Yeah.
read and check reviews, pick restaurants,
Yeah.
and even converse with the restaurant owners and all that. So all the skills
Yeah.
came in very nicely, and we have common interests.
And
Right.
Mike took a lot of nice photos of us
Yes,
as well.
nice photos.
Yeah.
Okay.
We
Creative
actually
director.
booked a photo shoot thing just to commemorate the pregnancy and all that, right? Just because I don't think we're gonna have another one. But then Mike's photos turned out, like we were sort of saying, it's so nice. We don't even need to.
Yeah.
we should have
we-
hired this
yeah.
person. It's good enough.
His pictures were really good.
Right.
Different
And Michael,
skills.
it was good for you?
Oh, very, very good. Yeah. I think like both John and Janine said, I think the chemistry is there already. So that's already established. So that's already a plus point. And then when you're on holiday and you realize that, all the spontaneous things you want to do, everyone is in agreement. And that makes it quite special. You don't have someone say, I don't feel like, you don't, there was none of that. You don't feel anyone was like putting themselves out, agreeing to something. It just felt very organic, very, yeah.
We even turned up one morning with the same
Yeah,
We
white
all wore
black
stripes the
stripe.
same day.
Yeah,
It
it
was
wasn't
hilarious.
planned. Yeah,
It was
but we all
unplanned.
wore like
We all got
same
the memo,
outfit.
yeah.
Oh, really? It wasn't planned?
No, not at all.
We just came out of the rooms and
All in
all
stripes.
All
stripes.
wearing
Stripes.
stripes.
Oh, dear.
Quite hilarious, yeah.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah.
Oh, he was so good with breakfast.
Oh,
I don't have a
yes.
habit of eating
Yeah.
breakfast. I don't. I just sort of wake up as late as I can, get ready, and I leave. That's it. That's my usual thing. And but he would like, I wake up and then there's breakfast on the table. Yeah, wow, so good.
Okay, now with the baby, do you think your friendship will change in any way?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
He's
I
coming
don't
over
think so,
to hang out
yes.
later
Yeah.
to hang with the kid. It helps that he finds her quite adorable.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I don't think it'll change at
Yeah.
all.
Right.
I don't think so either.
I hope,
Family,
yeah.
I mean, like friendship holidays, do you think that would change?
I'd like to think it'll continue.
Yeah, me too.
Maybe we can plan for one next year.
With the child?
With the kid.
With the kid, without the kid,
Yeah.
I'm not sure. If I can get help, why not? It'd be nice to get away for a while.
Okay, so to wrap up, maybe you can give one tip on, intergenerational friendships that others could explore.
Ladies first.
I think, firstly, age shouldn't be a barrier. We shouldn't think about how old someone is. If you have common interests, if you share the same passion for things, just be friends. Just be very open-minded and just be friends. Yeah, don't immediately close the door just because someone is quite a lot older or even younger, because you never know what you can get from the friendship. Yeah, so just be really open-minded.
Thanks, Janine. John?
I think it's what advice would I give? I would tell people, don't even let that cross your mind. Just dismiss that thought. Like, oh, am I too old to talk to this person? Am I too young to talk to this person? If you're interested, you find this person fascinating, or you find that there's a connection. I do find, generally speaking, people are looking to connect. Generally speaking, especially if there's something of interest and there's something to sort of share, right? I think at the bottom line, we are all social creatures. No matter how reclusive we are, we need friendships, we need bonds. It's just whether you have a niche bond or a more mass market. I'm using that term loosely, right? Bond. And then if you can find a firm friendship, a firm bond and a genuine connection, a sincere connection with people, you shouldn't let it go, right? So as I age, as I experience different things in my life, I really appreciate a handful of people. Remember when we first spoke, I told you I was sort of going through, making a list of people that, if I had a very limited amount of time, who are my most trusted, who would I want to spend time with? And I made a list, and of course he's very, very high up there. I mean, I would do anything for anything. And there's this handful of people that I do the same for, because, they've made my life so much richer and much more full. So I'd say, if it's even a barrier to someone, this age thing, you should just dismiss it. You never try, you never know.
Yeah, I think one of the things that someone pointed out to me at some point is that I have a knack of not just making friends, but of putting people together that become good friends. And I think I like to be used to somehow facilitate that. If I think, let's say you're someone who's interested in this particular kind of subject, and I have another friend, so I'll arrange a lunch to just say, okay, come meet my friend, and then I leave it to them to decide whether they become friends. And I realize that most times it does happen. I do have a knack. I wouldn't say matchmaking, but it's almost like, you kind of know.
Like a human friendster.
Yeah, like a human friendster, yeah.
Middleman.
Yeah. And I think I enjoy that. I think I like being able to find like-minded people, put them together in a space, and see that friendship develop. So I do like that, to be able to bring people together. It's a strange thing to say, and I'm not aware of it, but someone told me, said, you have a knack of finding people in the same kind of personality types. I thought, that's an interesting observation, because I never saw it. I just like
you're the Tinder. Spark the flame.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is probably remaining curious. I think for me, I like to think I've never lost that sense of curiosity. Everything interests me. It doesn't matter whether it's music, whether it's listening to New Jeans and when they first came out, whether it's listening to the new Bruno Mars, Lady Gaga, single. I'm just interested in knowing the current sound, the current what not so much the trends, but just to know what's out there and why not. It doesn't mean that I'm in this age group I should only listen to 80s music. I don't think so. I figure why should you draw the line anywhere? So I do agree with them that you shouldn't let these things get in the way. You shouldn't tell yourself I'm at this age so I shouldn't be doing this. I don't agree. I just figure you just do what feels right for you, and if that friendship happens, it happens, and you should cherish it. And I do cherish all the friends I have. Yeah.
Thanks very, very much for, all these very interesting and wise words. So thanks, Michael, thanks, Jonathan, and thanks, Janine.
Thank you, Sumiko.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
So what's your take on friendship? Write in to Sumiko at 60 by emailing st60@sph.com.sg. Join me again for Sumiko at 60. Until then, goodbye.